It's Friday, and I'm glad you're here. Today, I want to talk to you about seasons of courage, what that is, what it looks like, why you might want to consider doing it, and how to do it. Coming up. If you like this episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Welcome back to another inspiring episode. Today, we're talking about seasons of courage. Don't get the word courage confused with fearlessness. Courage is seeing fear, weighing it, and doing it in the face of fear. Being courageous is doing something even though you're afraid to do it. Maybe you're not knocking at the knees, but you're afraid in some way of something. Being fearless is different than being courageous. Seasons of courage, what is it? A season of courage is something I learned from an author and another podcast host. I heard him talking about this, where a lot of good breakthroughs and things happened in his life when he put himself through seasons of courage. When would you want to put yourself through a season of courage? Maybe you're in a rut in any area of your life. Maybe you aren't where you want to be yet. Maybe you are trying to find your purpose. Maybe you are. It doesn't matter what it is. There are always reasons to put yourself through a season of courage, but particularly it is incredibly helpful for people early in your career, a proactive young professional, someone who's starting a business or recently started one over the last few years. How I'm defining a season of courage is deciding on a time frame where within that time frame you have decided you are going to consistently put yourself routinely through uncomfortable situations and circumstances in areas where you know you want and need to improve. You decide in advance that within that time frame, you are going to consistently put yourself routinely through uncomfortable things that will help you grow in areas that you need to grow. For me, I want to be a better dancer. So a season of courage for me would be to go out to a salsa dance club at least once a month, maybe even once a week if I was really serious about it. Say I do that for 6 months. By the end of 6 months, I'm going to be more comfortable dancing. I'm going to be better. I'm going to have the ability to confidently lead and be an effective dancer on the dance floor. It's something that I enjoy and I want to be better at it. So that would be a season of courage. It's uncomfortable for me. I'm super tall. I'd stick out like a sore thumb. But at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about getting to break through and getting better at these things. Another example, public speaking. Think of Toastmasters. Toastmasters are a gathering of people, voluntary choice. They put themselves through giving speeches. And when you're giving these speeches, you are starting from zero and there's different things. And then people in your Toastmasters group will grade you and provide you feedback that helps you to improve. So you're speaking in front of people. It's a public speaking thing. And you're voluntarily going to this routinely. Another season of courage for guys might be approaching women. If you are not good at approaching in person and you want to get better at that, you may practice just simply becoming friendlier with women in general. You may practice asking girls out. You may practice improving your social skills. And for women, similar. It would be similar. There's different seasons of courage we can put ourselves through. The benefits of doing this is that you break through these areas and these self-imposed boxes that we so often live within without recognizing or even realizing that we're holding ourselves back. And it is amazing what happens because you recognize once you start breaking through that it was never really a boundary. It's never something we needed to be afraid of. And you start making progress in these areas that you were so insecure about. And also recognize every single person we meet is an expert at something we know nothing about. I love that quote. Everyone you meet is an expert at something you know nothing about. For the next 3 months, I want to challenge Heart Healthy Hustle Nation. If you've been listening to these podcasts, text me, direct message me on Instagram, send me an email, jonathan@thehearthealthyhustle.com, and tell me, what are you going to do for the next 3 months that is going to be a season of courage? Hashtag it season of courage. Tag me in the post if you're posting on Instagram. Let me know what it will be for the next 3 months. That's about 90 days. That's an entire quarter of a year. Season of courage for me. A season of courage, something I'm going to do to continuously put myself out there is this. I'm going to do something fun, new, or random every Saturday, typically in the evenings or afternoons, that challenge me, that push me, that may take me well out of my comfort zone, whether that's going out and dancing, whether that's This is something that is going to be routine, so it needs to be integratable into your current schedule. Maybe you have to cut something else out for this season. You got to find something that challenges you. Maybe it's Toastmasters. Maybe you're like, I'm good. I don't need to improve public speaking. What for? It's not even for the public speaking. It's for the personal development, the growth, the humility that you'll experience going through that process. And that is the stuff life is made up of. That's the juice. That's the good stuff. That's what we need to thrive. And that's what helps keep us joyful. That's one thing that helps keep the human mind joyful and happier, is to be putting ourselves through these seasons of courage. And many people, may consider things that they're afraid of. Like even an act of courage is huge. It will change your life. Every time I've done an act of courage, if it hasn't even been a season, my life has exponentially improved and I've grown and learned a ton every single time. So be willing to do these things. I guarantee you it will help your life. It will benefit you, those around you. If you're in a state of mind consistently that's fairly neutral, but you really want to break out of that, consider a season of courage. As always, be generous on every occasion, live wide open, and Godspeed. Fearless.